Hey man, this is Coach Pollock expanding the X's and O's Coach Talk with Coach Pollock. I'm here with Coach James Chaney. He's a guy here that's a very integral part of the Colorado football program. Former head coach in state of Florida from Fort Myers High School. Right.
Fort Myers, Lehigh Senior High School.
Lehigh Senior High School. Let's get it right.
Fort Myers High School was our rival when I was in high school. We ain't trying to go that route.
Don't tell Coach. Don't tell Coach I made a mistake.
I won't. But shout out to Coach Sam Sirianni. Him and his dad, been at Fort Myers, man, for a lot of years. Rest in peace, Coach Sam Senior. But Coach Sam does a great job at Fort Myers High School, and big appreciation, to him. He helped me out a lot when I first became a head coach.
Right. Well, Coach, I wanted to get on live today. We winded the month of June down. Mm-hmm. You and I have both been head football coaches in high school.
Yes, sir.
And we've been very blessed by Coach Prime getting us up here at the college level and everything. And
yes, sir.
I know that a lot of young guys out there that maybe they're in their first year as a head football coach, they're going into their first fall, or maybe they are, just trying to, get more experience and know what to do. So I wanted to sit down as June winds down, and let's talk about what should a head football coach, an offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator, and a special teams coordinator be doing in July, getting ready for camp in the season. I know in the in Georgia, I can't speak for every state, but I know in Georgia that there's a dead week in July. You can't practice in July 4th.
Yes.
You can't practice. You can't have any coaches up there. You can't have any kids up there.
That's right.
All the coaches are getting ready to go on vacation right now, so I'm a little envious of them.
I tell you, we would always give our guys, the 4th of July week off.
Yes.
We were all for parents and families taking vacations.
Right.
You know what I mean? But, in Lee County, down in Fort Myers, Florida area, they started, we couldn't go inside on a Friday.
Oh, okay.
Because they turned off all the lights, and it was a cost-saving measure.
You know what? I've been in some places in Georgia that did that.
Yes, sir.
It was they went to 10-hour work days for the summer staff.
Yep.
And you worked Monday through Thursday, and they left everything shut down. Nobody could come in on Friday, so we did the same thing. And plus, I felt like through the whole season, listen, you can get a lot done in June, but you got to understand it's June.
That's right.
And you can overwork your players and your coaching staff in June.
That's right.
And so what I always tried to do was I tried to give them either the last week of May or the first week of June off, depending on what the situation was with the school calendar.
That's right.
And then they always knew they had 4th of July week off. But in June, we would go Monday through Thursday in the morning.
Right.
That always gave them a 3-day weekend.
Yep.
They got so like Thursday at lunch, you could go to the beach Thursday at lunch for the afternoon, spend the whole weekend, be back Sunday night late. And I tried to pick a week also in the month of June where I gave them Friday and Monday off.
That's right.
So they had a 4-day weekend. So and Coach, one thing that I thought was very important, not just for my players, because you got mamas and daddies out there planning vacations for players.
Right.
But I wanted to make sure that my summer schedule was done in February, March, as early as possible, to let everybody know, hey, you can take a vacation here, you can take a vacation there. And I tried to be consistent with it so coaches knew and players knew year to year, hey, we're going to get this week off.
Right.
I tried to get them their off weeks as early as possible, because I think that your communication with your family and your coaches allows for their wives and allows for the mamas and daddies to plan vacations, plan their summer, and them not miss things.
And you can't book no flight at the last minute.
No.
You're going to pay triple.
You exactly
what I mean?
right.
And I had two sons, for a time in high school that played for me, so it was important for me to get their vacations done. And also the mental aspect.
Yes.
Football can easily turn into a year-round thing. Some people brag about that, but that's, your mental health and being able to rest not only physically but mentally is important. And down there in South Georgia and South Florida, it's hot.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you're going to have the skinniest football team in America.
No doubt.
If you out there every day just, running them to death.
Right.
And also you want to go over X's and O's, man. We had classroom time. We had football 101. And I also used a little bit of the summertime. We used to have a FCA time, the coaches' time out.
Right.
That was a good time for us coaches to get involved with FCA. There'd
Yes.
always be somewhere like Marco Island,
Yeah.
PGA Resort. And it was just a great little
Yes.
vacation time to recharge and also, get some stuff in to help you, your marital situation,
Right,
your family situation. So it's a lot of things that, especially young coaches, they just want to go
All the time.
But as you get seasoned, as you get older, you understand that it's more than just football.
You learn it's not a sprint; it's a marathon.
That's right.
The season's a marathon.
It is.
And you don't want to get late in October, early November when you really need to be at your best, and your team needs to be at your best. I tell people all the time, I want my coaches and my team mentally at their best when it's playoff time.
You dang all right.
And also physically. We want to continue getting stronger through the season. I don't believe in no maintenance program. I believe in getting stronger in the season. Because here's the deal. It does me no good to power clean 315 in July if I can only power clean 250 in November.
That's right.
So I just feel like that those things are important. But like I say, we wind in June down, and coaches are getting ready to go off on the dead week with their families, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of beach vacations and things like that. And hey, boys, let me tell you something. Spend as much time on that beach with your children as you can.
That's right.
And your wife and your family, and
Yes, sir.
and enjoy yourself. Don't you answer a text message,
That's right.
a phone call,
That's
or
right.
nothing about football next week if you off. I mean, you got to get away from it. You got to put that phone down, and I know it's hard, especially when you're a young head football coach, and maybe it's your first year. There's always something to do, and you end up spending so much time at the field house if you don't watch yourself doing stuff, and you'll neglect your family and neglect your kids. And when there's going to be enough neglect during the fall.
Absolutely. It's going to be enough hours, and some guys like, man, I gotta win so I can save my job, and you equate winning to hours.
Right.
Coach Prime tells us all the time, man, you got a job to do it and go home.
That's right.
Go be with your family.
Dude, that's what makes him so great. When
he-
you here, he
Yes.
wants you here, and
Yeah.
when you home, he wants you at home. He don't want you to bring something bad that happened at home to work.
Yeah.
And he don't want you taking something bad that happened at work home.
Yeah.
And man, I'm gonna tell you what, to be able to compartmentalize your life and to be able to do that is very difficult, guy. We understand that. He understands that. But it is always nice when you got a guy that's your boss.
Yes, sir.
That he's telling you those things, and when you know that he feels that way, it's good.
I think it motivates you to do your job better.
No doubt. No doubt.
You know what I mean?
No doubt.
I got a coach, man. My leader is saying, man, hey, do your job at a high level, and then when it's time to go, you ain't got to be seeing who watching. Just
Right.
if you know you got your stuff done, go.
That's right.
And I really, there's a lot of hard marriages in the game of football.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Because of that simple fact.
That's right. She's got to be special, don't she?
Oh man, she got to be special.
She got to be special.
But if you're a head coach, man, I would admonish you to take care of your coaches, man. Take
Right.
care of your players. Things will work out. Sometimes, it really don't take all the stuff that we put into it.
And take care of your coaches' wives.
Absolutely.
You
Take care of your coaches'
you need to
wives.
plan. You need to plan things for your coaching staff to get together as a family.
Yes.
And have the wives and everything. I know one thing we used to do after a home game, we'd always meet at my house or meet at an assistant coach's house and have some refreshments and some food for post game, and we just were able to kind of decompress a little bit and just kind of hang out. And that was always good. And like I say, in the summertime, if you can plan something to where maybe the coaching staff can have a little retreat or getaway.
No doubt.
I know you reminded me talking about that. We used to go down to Etworth by the Sea at St. Simon's. That was always nice. We always looked forward to that and everything. That was a big deal. I know one year I was with Coach Herring at Grayson, and he took us up to this lake in Kentucky that he had a house on.
Yep.
Boy, it was beautiful. Had a great time.
Man.
Stayed on a houseboat. But it was you do. Well, Coach, I tell you what. Hey, let's talk about what guys should be doing when they get back from their 4th of July vacation, and basically